Welcome back to On Track, and just like that, it is hunting season again. Off to the races here in New England. We've already heard from a few members who've had success, which is awesome to see, and others who had amazing trips out west. We definitely encourage you to keep in touch. Let us know how your season is going. In this episode of On Track, I'm going to give you the rundown on a few things from northern New England. In collaboration with the University of New Hampshire's Wildlife Management and Modeling Lab, as well as New Hampshire Fish and Game, the chapter is really excited about its support of a two-part study which will offer insights on moose and mesocarnivore populations in New Hampshire. You might be wondering, what is a mesocarnivore? Well, in simple terms, it's a way to describe an animal, a carnivore, based on the percentage of meat in their diet. In this case, we're typically talking 50 to 70%. On our landscape, a few examples include bobcats, foxes, coyotes, and fishers. While they might not get the same attention as large mammals, they do play an important part in a functioning ecosystem, especially one that is absent of large predators. This UNH study utilizes roughly 300 camera traps across the state, which aim to provide insights into moose and mesocarnivore density and quantify density-habitat relationships, enabling more informed and effective management decisions for the future. The chapter has adopted research grids in the northern part of the state and will be hiking into camera sites, many of which are remote, in order to maintain the cameras, swap cards, make necessary adjustments needed to keep with the design of the study. Just recently, the team assembled and we went into the field on what was a very, very wet day. Pulled cards, made adjustments to the camera for the winter season. We'll be returning in the spring for the next card swap and to readjust the cameras after the snow thaws. To learn more about this project, check our recent blog post on the topic. For nearly 20 years, Backcountry Hunters and Anglers has sought to ensure North America's outdoor heritage of hunting and fishing in a natural setting. A vision for backcountry conservation and a hunt for wildlands has guided our work across North America. Here in the Northeast, few places embody these values more than the High Peaks region of Maine. One of the largest roadless areas in Maine, with 10 of the state's 14 4,000-foot peaks as a backdrop, few places offer the freedom, challenge, and solitude our community of hunters and anglers seeks. Recently, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service made public its intent to explore the concept of forming a national wildlife refuge in the area. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service indicated the proposed refuge would be between 5,000 and 15,000 acres in size and assembled from nearly a 200,000 acre swath along the Appalachian Trail corridor. According to Fish and Wildlife, the agency would put resources to work to protect some of the most ecologically rich and climate change resilient lands in the U.S. and would also ensure permanent public recreation access for activities like hunting and fishing and more, ultimately adding to the lands already secured for public access by state and regional land conservation groups. Although there's no formal proposal at this time, and it's just a concept, there are some who are opposed to the idea, given the fact that the tradition of open access to private land is becoming increasingly tenuous, with more posted signs and gates appearing where they weren't before, plus other factors that continue to fracture our natural landscapes. At BHA, we're inclined to hear U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service out and see if there's a structure of a refuge that balances habitat, wildlife conservation, along with outdoor recreation. There's certainly no harm in trying. We'll keep you in the loop and share more information about the concept as it becomes available. Just recently, BHA's New England Armed Forces Initiative lucked out with some spectacular weekend weather, which has been in short supply around here, for their Rough Grouse camp in Vermont. In attendance were 7 AFI members, most of whom were completely new to grouse hunting, and they had the support of 6 mentors. The camp kicked off with a survival class taught by John Turner, BHA member and owner of Wild Roots Community Farm and a Sipiter Fieldcraft. AFI liaison for Vermont, Spencer Como, led some conservation conversations related to habitat requirements for grouse and the efforts to ensure that these birds have the cover and the food that they need for success in the North Woods. Of course, there was also time to hunt, and the camp's participants also found success in the field, making some great shots from what I've heard. Big shout out to Marie Medeiros, Gold Star sister and owner of Silver Lion Kennels out of southern New Hampshire. She shared a wealth of knowledge, and her dogs kept the folks on the birds. If you or anyone you know are part of the military community, whether reserved, guard, active, veteran, or Gold Star, keep an eye out for upcoming events. The AFI program is a great way to connect with those with a passion for the outdoors and make conservation part of the new mission. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for being patient with all of this activity around on this piece of public. We'll be back soon with some policy updates from around New England, and we are in the thick of some very, very heated legislative activity. We're going to get you up to speed on that and a whole lot more. Until then, get out there and enjoy the season. See you next time.